so excited.
The wait is over. Ahsoka is here. Actually, Ahsoka's been here for a little bit, and you were away. And
oh man, yeah. So, yeah, I was on vacation when this the first 2 episodes were released, and man, like, I could have watched it on my phone.
No,
but like, I know the hard time you always give Pete, and I don't have like the most spectacular setup. But like, I got a 1080p flat screen TV. It's a little dated, but it's still a nice TV, right?
It's a plasma.
And I was just like chomping at the bit to get home and watch the first whatever was released by the time I got home and could watch it. So yeah, I was not watching it on my phone like Pete would have.
When your TV finally dies and you're forced to upgrade, your world's gonna be shook. You're just gonna be like, whoa.
Like I've got a Panasonic Plasma, and it's held up exceptionally well. I think some of the darks aren't as dark as they used to be, but like there's no burn-in.
You've had that thing at least 15 years.
Yeah, more than 15 years. I've had it at least 20 years now.
That's nuts.
Because I had it for at least 2 years in Kitchener.
Yeah.
And when I bought it, it was like it was like the newest technology in this thing. Like, it's a Viera Panasonic Plasma, like I think it's Viera. Is that how they pronounce it or what it's called? But it essentially at the time was like this new technology that Panasonic was putting in its plasma screenings to like eliminate burn-in, which is like a ghost image. Like if you leave you pause your video game and you walk away for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, but like I get that ghost image every once in a while. But I think there's something in that technology that like it goes away.
Right.
Like if I turn the TV off and turn it back on a couple hours later, it's gone.
That's cool.
Yeah, like it's held up so well.
Well, hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast.
Yeah, we're the B team.
And as mentioned, we're here to talk about season 1, episode 1 of Ahsoka, titled Master and Apprentice.
Yes. The series could probably also be referred to as
Master and Apprentice.
Season 5 of Rebels.
Yeah. So I just want to preface this by saying one thing. I've been very vocal about when it comes to Star Wars, my love, my interest, my thirst is for force wielding, light side, dark side, lightsaber kind of stuff. To me, that is the bread and butter. That is the proprietary aspect of Star Wars that makes it so damn good. I don't dislike. I thoroughly enjoyed Andor. We had nothing pretty much but good things to say about Andor.
Yeah.
Thought season 1 of Mandalorian was great. Season 2, this is not bad. Season 3, what in the hell? Book of Boba Fett, what in the hell? Right. So like,
right.
But for the most part, you know, part of me, everyone's like, oh, the stupid sequel trilogy. And I'm like, yeah, but there was still the Force and the lightsabers and Palpatine. And like, how can you just not, like, you just gobble that up? So that's all I want to say going into this. That is what I'm looking for from my Star Wars. We're going to do this much the same way that we did Secret Invasion. So I have a written up recap here of the episode. So we're going to read through that, and we're going to stop and comment when comments are appropriate.
Yay.
All right. Episode 1 opens aboard the New Republic vessel, which is transporting Morgan.
Whoa. We got it. Whoa. What are you doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
There's a crawl.
And here's my beef with the crawl. What are you doing? I mean, to do the crawl and do it not even like centered on the screen, and it's not even like in the yellow, and it's the wrong typed, font. It's
different
and
color.
It's like it's so not only, but it's not just that I'm like, oh well, but that's not the traditional Star Wars crawl. It looks like someone did this in 2005 on Windows Movie Maker. Like it just.
So you didn't like it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I love what it says. I'm like, okay, great. This is setting things up. Because one of the questions I had going into this show is, and there was a very important test for me that this show needed to pass. And that was, okay, yes, this is in many ways the next season of the live action conclusion of Rebels. However, I think Star Wars would be making a very big mistake if watching Rebels before watching Ahsoka was absolutely mandatory. That if you tried to watch this show without having seen Rebels, you would be completely and utterly lost. That the first episode would end and you'd be like, I don't know what just happened. Like, I have no idea what's going on. So that was a very important test that this needed to pass for me. And I think that having an opening crawl is a good start. They don't talk about Ezra in the opening crawl. They don't talk about Kanan. They don't talk about, and that's fine. Because really, in the grand scheme of the show, at least so far as episode 1, yeah, you're aware there's a guy named Ezra. Cool. And that he's gone somewhere. He's missing somewhere. And that maybe that has some sort of tie to this guy named Thrawn. But in the opening crawl is mostly just setting up, there's this big baddie named Thrawn, and that the even though the Empire's gone, that there's this group that's like the remnants of the Empire are trying to get Thrawn back, and that if they get him back, it's gonna be bad news.
So yeah, in a nutshell, the crawl essentially does what the crawl does for the trilogies.
Yeah, just get you up to speed.
Sets up the state of the galaxy, says a little bit about your main protagonist and a little bit about the main antagonist, which at this point, if you've only ever watched live action Star Wars content, so you haven't watched any of this, you haven't watched Rebels, which, what's the matter with you? If you haven't watched Clone Wars, what's the matter with you? Then like, you won't know who Admiral Thrawn, you'll know only Admiral Thrawn's name from the Mandalorian, the most recent Mandalorian episode. Season.
And I think what they tell you
helps
in
set
this,
that up a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think because and like I said, they leave out stuff like so far, at least in this show, you have no need to know who Kanan is. Like, it's irrelevant. He's gone. He's dead. It's over. He was blind. Whatever. Yeah. I think that this crawl tells you everything you need to know about Thrawn. Really?
It sets things up well. It mentions Ahsoka, it mentions Thrawn, and then last sentence, the end of the last sentence, it mentions Morgan Elizabeth, who is someone that Ahsoka Tano took into custody in, was it Book of Fett or season 2? Season 2 of Mandalorian. It was season 2.
No. When Ahsoka did what? When she...
Ahsoka took Morgan
think that was Book of Fett.
No, it was season 2, because that's where the Mandalorian gets the spear from. Morgan wields the spear in the duel against Ahsoka. Ahsoka takes her into captivity. Yeah. And so this takes place sometime after, some months after that. Or years,
so we're up to speed now.
Yeah.
Now, so the episode opens aboard the New Republic vessel, which is transporting Morgan Elsbeth to her trial.
I got to put a pause here.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll get through the sentence eventually.
Yeah, I liked the crawl. I thought it felt a little odd because it wasn't the crawl we were used to.
It's just cheaply done.
And all the other shows haven't done a crawl.
Yep.
And we've been told from the Star Wars people that are making these films, that's because the original the trilogies are about the Skywalker's legacy. The Crawl is connected to them. So, like, it felt janky because it didn't look like the original. It did feel, I mean, looking at it, like, I'm going to be fast forwarding through the show as we talk about it. It does look a little kind of, I could say it looks dated, but I don't have a problem with it because it's doing its job. But then cutting from that to black space and having a spaceship fly in, oh, that feels Star Wars.
So Star Wars.
That feels Star Wars. Okay,
all right.
Continue.
Jeez. In classic Star Wars style, it is clear from the beginning that this vessel won't be reaching its destination, especially when a mysterious vessel flies into their path using an old Jedi clearance code. Captain Haley, played by Mark Rolston, is quick to call their bluff, welcoming the cloaked figures aboard the ship to get to the bottom of the mystery that is now afoot. And it's cool. It's a cool thing. He's like, I'm calling their bluff. And you kind of, like, Captain Haley, you kind of, at least I got, like, I was like, okay, this guy's kind of cool, but also has a little bit of, like, arrogantness about him. Like, he was a little, like, I wasn't sad to see him go.
It's a really fun kind of scene, this opening scene, because it kind of mirrors the Return of the Jedi scene.
Yeah.
But, like, it shows that this guy's a little bit more in tune with what's going on in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
The people sitting there and Darth Vader's just like, oh, let him go.
Yeah, that you can't just trust a clearance code. To the outside observer, Baylan Skoll, played by the late, great Ray Stevenson. And it's so wonderful to see him in this, and also so heartbreaking just to know that we lost him, that we don't have Ray Stevenson anymore. And Shin Hati, played by Ivana Sakhano, do look like a master and apprentice Jedi. Though they're red lightsabers, and the fact that Jedi are orangey red. Orangey red. And the fact that Jedi are now few and far between at this point in the galactic history bring their scheme to an abrupt end. So this is a great scene. He's like, check Captain turns to the one obligatory Mon Calamari that you have to have in every Star Wars team. I don't know why. It's like human, Mon Calamari, human. And says, get the droid to check their identification. And Ray Stevenson says, allow me to show you our identification. And then Shin loses her shit and starts slicing people down.
Yeah.
And Baylan uses the Force to, like, stop Captain Haley's hand with the blaster. Drag him in nice and close and says, you're right about one thing, Captain. We are no Jedi. And then, like, runs him through with the lights. Listen, this is such a strong opening sequence.
Yeah.
I love seeing the dark side wielders using the lightsabers. Like, for the first time in a long time, it felt like Star Wars. And
it's got so much... it bleeds so much like, oh, this is familiar. Like, it bleeds familiarity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Baylan and Shin cut down the crew in no time and make their way to the cell where Morgan is being held. This sequence allows Filoni to shoehorn another epic hallway scene into Star Wars logbooks, which will already be a Tumblr gift set by the end of the time that we're done talking about this. Like, it's,
we got Vader, we got Maul, there's Luke.
Yeah.
Now we got Bail.
Morgan is given the honor of being the first character in the series to mention Ashoka by name, as she tells Baylan that the former Jedi is in search of the star map that might lead might lead her to Thrawn's location. These are the same details, though more eloquently put, that the audience received in the opening crawl, which does seem a little counterproductive to me. That there was a couple moments where I just felt like the episode, like where the dialogue was a little like on the nose exposition-y.
Right.
It just that like, who is this Jedi? Ahsoka Tano. And then this Ahsoka thing comes up. Like, it was epic.
Yeah.
But we already knew this.
So one of the breakdowns I watched made a comment about this, and they made a point of saying they could have done it better. And the way they described they could have done it better, like as soon as you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that is way better. So imagine the scene in your head, right? She's walking out, he's behind him. Who's the Jedi that's done this? And just before she's about to say it, they cut to the title card.
That would have been much better.
Right? Instead, you get her
better.
Yeah, and the way he puts it, like, instead, we get her saying it, and then this awkward second or two of them walking off screen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. From there, we join up with Ahsoka as she searches for the aforementioned star map on a sandy planet steeped with lore and ancient ruins.
Yeah, very Japanese
yes,
samurai film influence here, too.
As she puzzles her way through the crumbling ruins and uncovers the location of the relic, which I'm just going to say right now. In what world is this star map not an Apple of Eden from Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. That's pretty. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, it's not even similar. It is what it is.
When I saw it, I was like, this looks so familiar. Where have I seen this before?
Yeah, lights up the same way.
Have I seen something like this in Star Wars before? A video game or something?
No, it's an Apple of Eden.
It's a completely different franchise. Yes, you're right. That's where I've seen it before.
That's all I could think the whole time.
That's exactly what it is.
I was like, what are they going to like? And then so that was because they're talking about like, oh, this place was built by like a long ago civilization from, you know, and I'm like, right, the Isu. Yeah, it was the Isu, and then they left the piece of Eden there, right? I was just like, what is happening?
This is Star Wars is just a big simulation.
Exactly. She finds the relic. It's a lengthy segment of a 50-minute episode, clocking in around 5 minutes of screen time, as Ahsoka and Hu Yang, who I think is my favorite character at this point. Hu Yang, the droid.
Yeah. The temple droid. Yeah, he's really cool.
Make their departure from the newly destroyed planet. Was Hu Yang in Clone Wars?
He was in Rebels.
He's helping some younglings. Like they have to go to the ice planet to get their kyber crystals.
I'm pretty sure that was Rebels.
Yeah. No, that was because I haven't seen Rebels. I think it was Clone Wars.
Yeah. He's definitely in Clone Wars then, yeah.
Make their departure from the newly destroyed planet, which is so good. He's like, I will sit down in front of you. And she's like, no, you won't. And he's like, I don't understand. She's like, just keep flying and open the hatch. Like, that was so good.
Yeah. There was a cool moment when she's trying to unlock the puzzle to get the, are we going to call it the Apple of Eden from now on? Is that?
It has to be. Yeah. The apple. Just the apple.
That because she's hearing voices as she's doing it. She's essentially, this whole series, she's essentially picked up or learned how to use the Force ability that what's his name uses in the newest Star Wars games. What's the EA ones?
The Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, yeah, where you can like touch something and then like see the past and stuff like that.
Right, there's like premonitions, shadows of memories. Yeah,
yeah. So it seems like she's picked up that because she hears voices, and I've heard the voices she's hearing here seem dark and ominous, and I've heard two theories. One is that it's Darth Maul, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And the one that makes more sense is that it's the brother.
Right.
Do you know who I'm referring to when I say the brother?
Yeah, Darth Maul's brother.
No.
No? No.
The
brother.
So
of the yes. Okay.
the brother who is the
dark
essence
side,
of the dark side of the
balance.
Force. Because essentially Ahsoka is the essence of the light side of the Force at this point in Star Wars. Because in the Clone Wars, the sister dies, who's the essence of the light side. There's the brother, the sister, and the father. Brother's dark side.
She dies to
sister's
save
light
Ahsoka,
side.
doesn't she?
She dies, but in her dying moments, she transfers some of her essence into Ahsoka, essentially making her the essence of the light side of the Force.
The light side, yeah.
So,
right,
kind of an interesting thing there. And that one makes way more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the Darth Maul tie because there's a lot of mention of Dathomir in this place and the witches and stuff, but like, yeah, it seems like maybe a bit of a stretch. So they escape.
That's kind of a cool thing.
They escape, and Hera Syndulla debriefs Ahsoka,
Syndulla.
Briefs Ahsoka on the incident that has happened aboard the vessel that was carrying Morgan Elsbeth. Ahsoka checks out these hologram security recordings and is not able to identify the master and apprentice. Given the lightsabers and abilities, Hu Yang believes that they may have been former Jedi, and Ahsoka asks him to run a search on the lightsabers in hopes of identifying them.
Yeah. So, fun fact about Hu Yang, for those that don't know, is he's an ancient droid that's been with the Jedi Order for thousands of years, like longer than Yoda's been alive. And he's got a running database of like every known lightsaber ever created, almost.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Did they mention that in the show? Or am I thinking of that from something else? Yeah.
I'm
thinking of that probably from his other appearances. But yeah,
but he does really cool. he does say later on at some point, he's like, in the last 500 years, I've only known one Jedi to have crafted a lightsaber that looks like this. And so Ahsoka reveals that the star map she tracked down might lead to the location of Thrawn, which surprises Hera. Hera's like, it can't be. He died in the Battle of Lothal, taking Ezra Bridger with him. Given the history between Hera and Ahsoka, it seems odd that they're just now having this discussion.
Why so?
Well, just because if Ahsoka, because they're close. And so if Ahsoka thinks that Thrawn is out there and Ahsoka's going on this big hunt, it just seems weird that this is the first Hera is finding out about it.
I would say yes and no. Because it's pretty, even Ahsoka mentions in this episode, that she doesn't know if it's true. She doesn't know if she believes it. Right. She just knows her enemies believe it, and that's enough for her. So she's not going to be. She's looking for proof enough that she can get help. Assuredly, that's my interpretation of it. She's not going to raise the hopes of her friends that their friend is alive who sacrificed himself to save them. She's not going to raise their hopes unnecessarily. So now she's starting to she's got an orb, right? I have something that might lead to this bad dude, but also our friend.
I wasn't going to bother you with a hunch.
Yeah.
In a sheer bizarre coincidence, at this very time on Lothal, the local leaders are memorializing Ezra's sacrifices with a mural that depicts the crew of the Ghost. Now listen. This mural is total blatant fan service.
It is. I love it.
And I thought it was tacky.
Did you really? Oh,
I thought it was
on.
tacky just because it was clearly just like in the art style of Rebels. And so it to me, it was just like, well, that's a weird coincidence that the dude you got to paint this, I guess, has seen the first couple seasons. I don't know. It was just like,
no,
I thought it was tacky.
Okay. As somebody who you've not watched Rebels.
No.
Okay.
No, I watched a very lengthy sort of summarized.
This is your
video.
problem right here, right? So this mural is in Rebels in a very similar artistic style. Not only that, the person who did the mural is oh shoot, what's her name? Sabine.
Okay.
So like,
but I still think it's tacky. Like even it had this been a callback to Clone Wars and it had been in the artistic style of Clone Wars, I'd be saying the same thing. I just think that like it's fan service that could have gone either way, and for a lot of people, obviously yourself, it's gonna hit. For me, I was like, it seems
you would have
preferred
tacky. What, a more realistic looking
just something,
painting?
yeah, just something that was like
something
clearly
realism.
Yeah, or something that was
it?
just clearly them, and it could have been in like an artistic style or something. But I think it's just a little, like it's almost fourth wall breaking to me, right? To give a tip to the animation style of a show was just hacky to me, and I'm conceding that it's like that's a to me thing, right? But for me, it didn't work.
I don't know.
Which is
I
fine.
hear what you're saying.
I acknowledge that you like
but
it.
I disagree because
And that's
I would
fine.
say it's not even in the animation style of the
it totally
show.
is. The bright blue eyes and
the colors, the color palette is similar, but like I'm looking at a stopped frame of it right now, and like Zeb does not look like the same style that he does in the show. Like.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Zeb's face is like...
I guess I'm mostly looking at Ezra in this image. And I'm going, Ezra's a dead ringer.
Yeah. But I would say it's not an exact... Like, even the Loth cats at their feet are definitely not in the style.
All right. That's fine. Yeah. It just seems out of place that it's such a cartoony.
It is cartoony.
Depiction.
I will give you that. I will concede the point that it is cartoony looking.
Yeah.
But it is a mural, right?
Okay.
It's a mural that somebody painted.
Well, Sabine needs to up her
it's
artistic
obviously
game
it's not
now.
a blue screen. Somebody has actually
No.
painted this on probably a foam wall that they made to look like rock. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I disagree.
Right.
Either
That's
way.
fine. The commemoration, words are hard. The commemoration goes awry, however, when the keynote speaker, Sabine Wren, fails to show up. At this point, Master and Apprentice get some much-needed life injected into it with the introduction of Sabine, who has skipped out on the commemoration in favor of speeding out of town while listening to some grungy space rock. Okay. I hated this song. I love this scene. I love this scene in the introduction of Sabine, and it tells you everything you need to know about her. And the way she like lowers the speeder and like skids under the airship, like it's fantastic. But I hated the music. Hated it. And I'm a rock guy, but it just felt so. Every time we've seen music, for the most part, in the Star Wars universe that is not orchestral music, right? Like music that's actually taking place within the show or movie. It's stuff like the Cantina Band. It's stuff like, it's otherworldly instruments. It's instruments that aren't Earth instruments. And I'm listening to this rock song. I went back and I listened to it a second time just to confirm. This is just an electric guitar and a bass guitar and a drum set. It just doesn't fit. It just felt so Like, I actually wrote down here, I was like, does this scene confirm the existence of electric guitars in Star Wars? Because it's just, I don't know. For some reason, I was just like, it's fun and punchy, but something about it feels off and feels out of place in Star Wars. Now, tell me why you loved it and I'm wrong.
Okay, I just want to kind of try and pair it back in different words. So
Okay.
You didn't like it because it sounded like the instruments used were too earthly?
Yeah, yes, it just sounded like...
So it wasn't that it was rock
like,
and roll.
Well, it just sounded that it was just regular rock and roll. And I actually had to look it up. I looked up the song because I didn't know, because the actress that plays Sabine, she was born in Australia, but she's half Italian, half Chinese. And so in this moment, I looked it up because I thought, well, there's the possibility that this is just Chinese rock and that they've put it in there as to sort of pay tribute or in, like whatever,
Yeah,
right?
I hear what you're saying.
And it does. It sounds like it could just, because I'm like, well, I don't recognize the language. It's obviously not in English, but it sounds like it's of Earth. And so I'm just going to look this up and probably see that it's just some Chinese punk rock song. And it wasn't. It's a song created for the show, and it's supposed to be in some, like, whatever alien language. But the fact that I could listen to it and not know that it wasn't just Chinese rock, to me, that was the weird thing. I was like, it just feels like, feels like Earth. It's kind of like Star-Lording Sabine, where it's just
Right.
like, some human that's listening to human rock. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
I didn't have an issue with it. I don't know if I would say I loved it, but I'm not taking any issues with it. Like, kind of upbeat rock type-ish music is kind of already canon within the world, in that, like the remastered Return of the Jedi in Jabba's palace, we got Cy Snoodles and the band playing some very kind of rock style music,
like jazz rock, yeah. But there's still, like, you're seeing these instruments and they're not.
No, yeah,
I
would agree. Like, it didn't look or sound like earth rock.
Yeah,
Right. But I would say it didn't bother me or take me out of it to the same degree you did, because I know I'm suspending my disbelief a bit more. I could explain it away, and that, for the most part, physics and the way things work in Star Wars outside of the Force are the same for the way we understand them on Earth.
Yeah.
In the real world. So a woodwind instrument and a string instrument theoretically should work the same. So if they come up with a hyperspace travel, who am I to say that somebody hasn't made some form of an electric guitar?
Yeah.
So, but I hear what you're saying. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to push it. If it didn't work for you, it didn't work for you.
Yeah. Okay. So then, so basically some dude sent to go collect her, and she tells him to suck an egg.
And then takes off. Yeah.
And takes off in a really cool, badass way.
Yeah.
As she gets back home, she greets her space cat.
Loth cat.
It's a space cat.
It's a loth cat.
It meows and it purrs and it chirps the way a cat does.
But it has bird feet.
We learn a little bit more about who Ezra is, or rather was, at her brightly painted home, where she lives with her loth cat. Sabine reminisces about her old friend while watching a hologram he left for her. Mm-hmm. It was emotional.
Mm-hmm. It was touching.
Yeah, even for someone who hasn't seen Rebels.
We do even get a shot of her in the foreground of one of the shots when she's rifling around on the floor for this thing. Some of her Mandalorian armor, her helmet's sticking out of a bag.
And I love that her house is just riddled with stacked, like, beat-up Stormtrooper and Scout Trooper helmets and stuff like that. That was cool. Yeah.
So fun fact for you, since you didn't watch the show, this is actually Ezra's house.
Oh, is it? Okay.
This is where Ezra used to live. And Ezra collected, had a habit of collecting different Imperial helmets.
Right. Okay.
So a lot of the stuff on the walls is his in here. She's obviously made some of it her own, but with some of the art on the walls and stuff, but it's Ezra's place.
Right. Okay. Lethal becomes the main point for the remainder of the episode, with Morgan directing Shin to travel there, rather cryptically. Baylan is kind enough to explain that Ahsoka's former apprentice, Sabine Wren, calls Lethal home, and that Ahsoka will likely take the star map there. This piece of information might be surprising to fans of Rebels, as it was never really established in the series. Considering Ahsoka is not a Jedi, and was far removed from the Order when she teamed up with the Ghost Crew. It seems odd that she took Sabine as her apprentice, especially when she knows where the path can lead. Of course, Baylan and Morgan are correct. Ahsoka heads straight to Sabine on Lethal, where Sabine is being lightly... where she's being lightly reprimanded for missing the ceremony.
Yeah. On top of that, stuff about the oddity of Ahsoka taking her as an apprentice, she's not force sensitive. Not really.
No.
She's got no force capabilities. She's she's a Mandalorian, so she's very proficient with pretty much any weapon she picks up. And she has had training using a lightsaber because Ezra Bridger's master taught her how to use the Darksaber, because she wielded the Darksaber for a time.
Right.
So she's, so it is kind of an interesting thing that we're like, oh, this is okay. Okay. This was a thing.
Rather than leading with Thrawn, as she did with Hera, Ahsoka tells Sabine that the star map might lead them to Ezra. Sabine seems less convinced that Ezra might be out there, but willing to listen to what Ahsoka is involved in. Ahsoka and Sabine have a tense conversation about their tenuous relationship during Sabine's apparent Jedi training, which establishes that they had some sort of falling out. Their reunion is interrupted by Huyang, who has identified Baylan Skoll as a Jedi who disappeared at the end of the Clone Wars. Before
you just said skull.
Skoll, sorry. Skoll.
Skoll?
Yeah, Skoll.
Baylan Skoll. Okay. It sounded like you said, has identified Baylan's skull.
I know this jawline anywhere.
It's Baylan's lightsaber. He identified Baylan's lightsaber.
Yes. but as a Jedi who disappeared at the end of the Clone Wars. Before departing to go over their findings, Ahsoka warns Sabine not to take the star map, which she does not obey. She takes the apple. Tempted by the apple.
Yeah.
At this point, Shin is already hot on Sabine's trail, though she kindly waits to spring her attack until after Sabine figures out how to get the star map to work. Despite the star map proving difficult for Ahsoka to figure out, Sabine manages to figure out how to crack the code rather quickly. Before she can really relish in her discovery, Sabine is jumped by a pair of droids that steal the star map and take it back to Shin. Sabine grabs Ezra's lightsaber and takes off after Shin, calling Huyang for backup, and things go pretty badly.
Did you... I think they've mentioned this already. I think Ahsoka mentions this to what's her name? To Hera. I think she mentions this to Hera. Not Hera. Do you know what kind of droids these are? This will probably tickle your fancy.
Well, they're HK something, right?
HK assassin droids, yeah, which were kind of introduced to Star Wars in the Knights of the Old Republic games.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, right. Isn't that cool?
That is cool, and it helps because there was times in this episode where I was like, really, like another new droid? Like Star Wars has just become this thing where we can just throw anything at the wall, and people can just make up new whatever.
This old
that's cool.
droid. Yeah, they don't look. I don't think they look very similar, but that's fine. I think that's all right.
I also like. I don't know. I've grown to love the Ahsoka character after having watched Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And after watching this episode, I've grown to really love the Sabine character. But every time they introduce something new to Star Wars, I've never loved the idea that Ahsoka survived post-Empire. And I've never loved the idea now that in doing so, she was training during the time of the Empire. She was training other Jedi, so to speak, because in some ways it cheapens aspects of Luke in the original trilogy.
I wouldn't say she's training anybody in the original during the time of the Empire.
Well, okay, or very shortly after. Sure,
she's active in fighting the Empire, but she didn't do much of any. She did like a very minimal training,
right?
For Ezra and his master. But
fine, but my point remains with Ahsoka then, because in the original trilogy, it is very much laid out or painted for us that it's Luke is kind of it. That Luke is the last Force sensitive person out there,
right?
And if all else fails with Luke, then maybe Leia. But that's it. And so the fact that while all this is happening, there's a Force-sensitive, lightsaber-wielding former Jedi out there who knows Anakin probably better than just about anybody else. Right? And has already faced him as Vader during the Empire times.
Yeah. Is essentially the essence of the light side.
So to me, that just cheapens things. It's just like, but whatever.
Interesting.
So before Ahsoka can get, I want to point out Sabine obviously gets her ass handed to her, but she's not completely devoid of lightsaber abilities. Like, she holds her own for a bit.
This lightsaber duel,
yeah.
She has training. She lacks in the kind of the precognition and the natural affinity for a lightsaber that a trained Jedi has.
Yes,
or in this case, a Padawan learner.
Before Ahsoka can get to her, Shin runs Sabine through with her lightsaber, leaving her presumably to die.
At least on death's doorstep, yeah.
End scene. And that's it. That's the
episode.
Cliffhanger. So, Carl, was episode 1 of Ahsoka a win or a fail for you?
Oh, it was a big win. Loved it. It had we, and me specifically, have hated on member berries in the past because they've been poor. Like a member berry, something that calls back to something else to kind of rouse emotion, if done right, is really good. So the mural here, right? For you, it's a miss, right? Like it doesn't land.
Yeah.
For me, it's a member berry. Remember the mural from the show, right? Because this mural's in the show. But it lands, and but it's not like out of place. It's not like slapping me across the face. It makes sense for this to be here. It makes sense to introduce these characters. That whole scene is just a big member berry in itself, because the white hair bearded dude is a character from the Rebels show. The dude he gets to come speak in place of Sabine is a character from the show, right? So the whole thing's just a big member. Like the whole episode is essentially a big member berry with the exception of a few things, right? But it's all kind of necessary for the story. Like none of it feels out of place to me.
Right. Okay.
So right. I think it does a really good job of setting up, sort of actually reintroducing and setting up the new conflict, reintroducing characters and setting up the new conflict.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does it. Keeps it intriguing. Keeps it action filled and fun. And yeah, so I loved it. And what say you, sir, who have never watched Rebels and are watching season 5, but likes watching things in order?
This was an unmitigated win. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Even with the scrawl and the picture, the mural and the rock music and
even with that, those are small little. The fact that we have. I don't care that Ahsoka's like, oh, I'm not a Jedi. Screw you. Yes, you are. We have Jedi, and we have Sith-esque people, and we have we have light side and dark side force wielders with lightsabers, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like I hope the show continues sort of in the same tone and feel that this episode has, because I loved it. I really loved it.
It sets up the show really well for what's to come.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and X, all listed down below. Support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You'll get some rewards for doing so. And we've got merch.
We got things that you can put on your body.
Yeah.
Or on your table. Or in your cupboard.
In your closet.
Or on your foot.
Cat.
Do we have socks?
On your cat. Oh, we don't have socks. No.
What?
No, we're it's the Barefoot Podcast.
Oh.
That's what the show was originally called, and then we changed it because we're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But we've held true to our tenets, and we're not selling socks. To hell with that.
All right.
Let those toesies air.
Yeah. Let the dogs out.